warm evening to all of you. Welcome aboard to Sports Zone. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. This is your best, most authoritative, the most fun Monday night sports show in this country. Sports Zone. There's nothing, absolutely nothing like it. The show is proudly sponsored by Syntex Tank. Syntex Tank, stronger itself. Kivo Gary 4-in-1 mix. Amak Gary Soakins. Easy. And of course, tonight on the show for the next 90 minutes, we've got a lot to cover. More importantly, we will unpack how and why 11 people have somehow managed to fraudulently acquire visas to Norway to compete in the name of Ghana at the para event, and then end up not competing and then run away. One of them even died while the other has been arrested. The issues have been unraveling over the last few days, and I'm sure we will find out more over the next few days. Tonight on the show, we've got exclusive details for you about some of the characters involved in this massive, mammoth scandal. There's that to come. Also, we've got some transfer news for you. Man Utd, Yoro made his debut. What did we learn from what we saw from this 18-year-old that United spent £62 million on? We will talk about that as far as transfers are concerned. The Olympic Games are just 4 days away, with the opening ceremony on Friday. We will look at the last Diamond League competition and see how it unpacked, how it unraveled, and what that means, and what it told us about what could potentially be coming in Paris in regard to the track and field. There's also Olympics football. Many people seem to forget, but the Olympic football is a big deal for many countries. And this year will not be different. We will tell you and show you some players to look out for at the Olympic football competition. For example, did you know that Man City's Julian Alvarez will be playing for Argentina at the Olympic Games? Or did you know that Alexander Lacazette will be captaining the France team coached by Thierry Henry? And by the way, Argentina's team is coached by Javier Mascherano. Did you know that? So we will unpack all of that for you here tonight on the show. Once again, my name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. The show is live and interactive on social media. Do join us. Use the hashtag SportsZone. You see it on your screen there. Use the hashtag SportsZone on Twitter and or X, and we will read and retweet those messages so that the rest of our followers and the rest of our viewers can see. If you prefer WhatsApp, the number is on your screen. Send through those messages. My tablet is here. I'll read them for you. 0240-910-330, 0240-910-330. That's the WhatsApp number. A very warm evening to all of you from wherever you've tuned in. We appreciate your time. Welcome to the show. All right, welcome back. This is Sports Zone. The show is live every Monday night at 9 p.m. We are on till 10:30 p.m. unpacking the very best conversations, showing the best highlights from the world of sport. There was also F1 this weekend, of course, the Hungarian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen, at his usual best, Red Bull gives you wings. His car was flying. But 200 podium places for Sir Lewis, the greatest F1 driver in history. 200 podium places. No other driver in the history of Formula One has finished on the podium 200 times. Last time I showed you some wonderful records that Lewis Hamilton has broken in F1 history, and he just keeps going at it. That's now back-to-back podiums for him after what had been a very difficult last 3 years or so. So it's good to see that his final season at Mercedes is ending on a high, or at least it started real. I hope it ends on a high. But yeah, nice best. But what's going on with McLaren? The most unsatisfying victory in the history of F1 went to Oscar Piastri. We'll talk about that a little later when we have a time. But let me introduce my guest tonight, and it's my two absolute favorite people, Sigjofe Philip Achrim and Daniel Cranton. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, today you're wearing tie. That tie looks like my tie. Is it my tie?
No.
Hey, thunder fire you. I'll curse you if you lie.
It has been in my possession for a year and a half.
I knew it. What is the law of ownership, right? I think that there's a law like that even for land ownership. If you occupy a land for a certain duration of time, I think it's like 10 years or something, it belongs to you. So nobody can come and sack you over there. So after possessing the tie for a year and a half,
and it even looks better on me.
It does look good on you. It does look good on you. It does look good on you. It's fair. I admit it does look good on you. I can't debate what is good. I can't debate what is good. But guys, what I can debate is scandals. Bugger. Listen. So on Saturday, news broke. Okay, see the way the guys are quiet. They've been boiling. News broke that the Ghana Para team, and I'm quoting it because that's what the story said. News broke, the national security released a statement. The statement is old, okay? But we at Joy Sports intercepted.
Auntie.
Thank you very much. We intercepted that communique from the national security to the foreign ministry, copied the sports ministry, outlining how a delegation of 11, Bernard, you have the letter, put it there. How a delegation of 11 Ghanaian athletes and coaches somehow found their way to Norway, the Norwegian embassy here, obtained visas, went to Norway in the name of competing in a marathon. They didn't register for the marathon, didn't compete in the marathon. One of the coaches falls sick. They take him to hospital. He dies. Another one of the athletes who went didn't even bother staying in Norway. He tried to run away to Sweden, and he was arrested and is in custody. What is worse? What is worse is that throughout the entire period that they were there, they went with one-way ticket. Who in their right minds will be going to compete at a competition for the country and only have one-way ticket? That is the first red flag. I have got some questions here. Second red flag. How did they obtain letters from the sports ministry and the Ghana Paralympic Committee to submit to the Norwegian embassy for them to be given letters, the visas? And when they submitted the letters, what due diligence was done? And this second question is important because now the Paralympic Committee president, Samson Dean, says he never issued a letter and that the letter was forged. So if they submitted, so two things. One, for the Norwegian embassy. So if they submitted an application letter, an application for visa to your embassy with letters from their official governing bodies, how did you not bother to verify? Or did they verify? And if they verify, who was the call placed to? It means that person is complicit. That is issue number one. And all of that. Issue number two, where did they get the letterheads from? Did they edit it? Who gave it to them? How did they obtain those letterheads? So there are several questions. And I just give you a chronology of what has happened. So the incident happened in April. It is only now that it's coming to light. After 3 months. And like a couple of letters that we will show you. We'll show you the letter from the National Security. We will show you a video from the Paralympic Committee president detailing what he believed happened and who he believed is at fault. Then we will show you their letter, their response, and what they said regarding this whole thing and which people they are blaming. Then we will show you the response, the letter from the Sports Ministry as well, on what they had to say about this particular incident. Then the people that Samson Dean, the Paralympic Committee president, accused of forging his signature, we will show you what their own response is and what they are saying regarding this incident. One of them has actually said that the letter came from the MPC and that he never forged anybody's signature. So the issues are murky, but we'll unpack them. Our producer Benai is working all of that. But first of all, Sichu, Danike, why are you crying?
Charlie, it has paid.
You are sad?
I'm very sad.
What's happening? Why are you wiping tears? Why are you wiping tears?
Okay, let me confess. I was laughing at something.
So you were laughing. Tears of joy. Sichu, what a story. Not for the first time. On the top of my head, and this is probably the biggest scandal to hit Ghana sports since the Australia visa scandal.
Yep. Yeah.
Where over 31 journalists were deported from Australia, journalists in code, people posing as journalists, but they were not journalists. And they were all deported. Now people have, in the words of Samson Dean, the MPC president, forged letters, managed to acquire accreditation for competitions, managed to swindle the Norwegian embassy for visas, managed to get to Norway, but the yawa was that the moment they got there, they didn't even bother to register for the competition, and then they started to scatter. One of them was arrested on his way to Sweden. And then there's no word on the remaining 9. 1 died, 1 arrested. The rest of the 9, we don't know where they are. Now, the MPC, National Paralympic Committee, says, we don't know those people. They are not members of our Paralympic team. Our Paralympic team is preparing for the Olympic Games. None of those people who went to Norway is part of that team. And the team has been traveling around, I beg your pardon. The team has been traveling around for a while, and not a single one of any of those members was part of that team. He said some of their members went to Egypt for competition, they went to Morocco for competition, they went to another country for competition. None of those people who went to Norway was part of that. We have our team, and the people in Norway are not members of our team. So if anything at all, those people have perpetrated fraud, they have perpetrated impersonation, they perpetrated misrepresentation, and whatever they did is criminal, and they must be brought to book.
Yeah, rightly so. I think, yes, they must be brought to book, and investigations must be done thoroughly. Because and something can't just be, we can't take everything that he said as gospel, to be honest, because the coach who passed, I mean, may his soul rest in peace, he's known to be a coach of the Paralympic teams. We know him. I mean, and he passed. He's got a track record. So when Samson says that he doesn't know any of those who went there, that is where the question marks are. It could be that he didn't give them the sanction to go there. That is acceptable, but that has to be proven that those documents were forged. But the huge question marks about how they went there. So because if you're going to go to the Norwegian embassy to claim visas for such competition, I imagine that the Ministry of Sports would have a letter attached to it that they know of a said competition. In fact, they are perhaps funding it. I know for sure that the Paralympic team necessarily don't raise the money for these trips. They are always looking for the government support. So where did they get that support from, right? And did they also forge letters from the ministry to go to the embassy and get a Schengen visa? Because we know the 9 that are left, the Norwegian embassy have also issued to the Schengen states that they are looking for these 9 people. And of course, they need to be caught. They need to be caught. They need to be brought to the book. We need to have a thorough investigation on what is going on, because it's a big shame, right? But here in Ghana, we need to start doing our own investigation. My disappointment is this happened in April, and then the document was intercepted by the brilliant job that you do here. Now, between April And now,
what has happened?
What has happened? So
That's
I'm thinking,
the letter.
yeah,
Look at the letter.
This is the letter.
Very well dated.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm thinking that between then and now, what has our own security intelligence picked up? What have they done? What investigations have gone on, you know, to get to the cracks of the matter?
Look at that. The incident. Look at paragraph 2.
Yeah.
Okay. That it was gathered that the 11-member team failed to register and participate in the competition, which was slated for 27th April. Furthermore, one Nana entry, a team member, was apprehended and detained on the 26th of April by Norwegian security officials for attempting to depart Norway to Sweden on a one-way train ticket.
Yeah. He wasn't coming back.
So consequently, the Norwegian embassy in Accra has issued a letter to other Schengen and Western diplomatic missions in Accra and the European Border Coast Guard agency as part of efforts to apprehend and repatriate the team members. Now, relatedly, George Jesse, the team coach, collapsed on the 28th of April and, of course, was taken to the Oslo University Hospital, where he passed away on the 17th of May.
Yeah.
And for then they attached details of the Team Ghana and the relevant documents and everything.
Yeah.
So this is the letter that we intercepted. It was written on the 3rd of July, this letter, detailing the incident which happened on the 27th of April. And the relevant authorities, like Sicho mentioned, have known about this for a long time, including the National Paralympic Committee.
Yeah, April, May, June, we are in July. July is almost ending. So by now, thorough investigations should have been done. Maybe it's been done. We have no idea of what is happening. But the reason I'm not sure maybe it's been done is because of the way Samson Dean has come out to respond. Because normally if things are under investigation, the best you want to do is to keep quiet and get those doing their works to do it. Your lawyers will tell you that, no, don't speak. But he's come out to actually say he knows none of those people who have gone on this trip, and it was forgery and all of that.
Hold your horses. We can hear from Samson Dean now. He is the president of the Ghana Paralympic Committee. Okay, that is the entity in charge of disability sports in Ghana. This is what he says happened.
What I would like to say is that the Ghana Paralympic team, one, have not sent anybody, have not sent any athlete, have not written a letter, have not applied for a visa, we have never applied for a visa at the Norwegian embassy. The Ghana Paralympic Committee have not sent anybody, any athlete, any official, any human, a Ghanaian, to the Norwegian embassy or even to get a visa to travel to Norway. The Ghana Paralympic Committee have no intention and have ever had any intentions of even attempting or even trying to participate in an event, which is an Olympic or which is a Paralympic qualifier in Norway or Oslo. The letter from the National Security Fine is good. It came from the Norwegian embassy, which reported that an application have passed through the embassy. The embassy had issued visas to some people. Let me say that upon our checks, upon receiving this document from the Ministry of Sports, we engaged, we checked, and then we realized that the letter was written, forged. They forged my signature, forged my letter, and applied for a visa for some people who are not athletes, who are not individuals associated with
okay, before you go on, Mr. Samson Dean, they forged your letter. Who are they, the they you refer to?
Theodore Mauli Viwoto, who is the former Secretary General of the Ghana Amputee Football Association, and Ernest Aisi, who is the founder of NST Foundation. Upon reaching out to them, we asked them why, how they got my signature and how they got my letter. They indicated one of the persons who are listed in the letters that I have forwarded to you, called Adongo, is the one who found my letter, forged all the signature. And where is the Adongo? The Adongo is not residing in Ghana at the moment. He's nowhere to be found. He's in Europe. And for that matter, these two officers who have one way or the other their associations in development of disability sport has since yesterday been suspended from any activity which is a Paralympic or disability sports in the country for now. And then we have written to the Ghana Police Service for further investigation into this matter. I have not signed any letter since my occupying the office of Ghana Paralympic Committee since 2019. I have never signed any letter to the Norwegian embassy. I have not signed a letter to this embassy and applied for a visa for anyone. It is forged. They forged my letter. They forged my signature, and everything about this is forgery. It has nothing to do with the Ghana Paralympic Committee. It's just unfortunate that this document finds itself in the media, but the truth is that Ghana Paralympic Committee has no association to this particular issue.
Unfortunate turn of events, and because time is not our best friend, we will want to leave it. We would want to leave it here, and we would pursue it further. But it's important and good that you have brought the clarification.
All right, so that was Samson Dean speaking to Nathaniel Atto on Sports Link on Saturday. A very strong words, the denial. And one of the people that he mentioned as one of the people that perpetrated it is one Ernest Ayisi, who is the director of Ernest Foundation. He said he's one of the people who forged his signature and then used the letter to take to the Norwegian embassy. Ernest Ayisi has been speaking as well. He spoke this morning on Asempa. Sicho, what is he saying?
Well, I say that my name is not on the list. I would have included my family members if I wanted them to abscond. How can I forge a signature? I'm illiterate. Right, so that's what he says. So
there's a next one.
Right.
There's a continuation to this.
All right, so what comes up next? Well, I explained to Dean, but he's adamant. The letter was from his office. Are people not working there?
Now, Daniel, this is a very interesting, and I think I asked that question, didn't I?
Yeah.
That even if Dean says he didn't sign the letter, this NSA, you see that he claimed was part of the people who forged the letter, says that the letter genuinely came from the MPC office, and that even if it wasn't he, Dean, who signed it, someone in his office signed it. And that's why he said, are people not working in that office?
Yeah.
Who could have done that? Why do you think it was forged?
Look, that's absolute facts. For me, again, I will not take what Samson Dean is saying as a gospel. Just to reiterate what Sicho said. Look, when you look at the letter that the National Security wrote to the Sports Ministry and Foreign Ministry, was on 3rd July. This thing happened in April.
Yeah.
If a coach who is very well known to be affiliated with the Ghana Paralympic Committee has passed on, obviously, the committee would have known by now.
It should have been news.
They know. Now, why is it that basically about what? An hour and 30 minutes after the news came out on Saturday, then they are quick to suspend the two individuals?
Who they said they had nothing to do with the MPC.
You say you don't know them.
Yeah.
So how do you suspend them?
But how do you suspend them indefinitely? How do you ban somebody
Who are not
indefinitely
members of your committee?
who is not a member, who has no affiliation to you?
Which authority do you have?
Which authority do you have to do so?
Yeah. So those two things, those two actions,
It just
they don't match.
They don't
First,
match.
Samson Dean says those people who perpetrated that had
known to
nothing to
them.
do with the MPC. But there's a letter, Benai, can you show us that? There's a letter of him suspending those very people. In what capacity?
Exactly. And why does that have to come just a couple of hours or minutes after the news goes public? When at least the Sports Ministry, the Foreign Ministry, National Security had started looking into this matter about 3 weeks ago. For me, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy it. And this thing is, I agree with where EC is coming from, where NS is coming from. You can't just produce a letterhead and the forged signature, and you go to an embassy, and they will look at a forged document or a fraudulent document and wave it off and say, okay, fine.
I'm quite sure they made some calls. I have applied for
it has to be legit.
Schengen visas.
Yeah.
If there is one entity that does a lot of thorough analysis of applications, it is the Schengen states.
Exactly. You see, so it is not possible that those letters were forged. It is not. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it that the Norwegian embassy will first look at a letterhead that is forged
and
then
a signature also that is forged, and then go ahead to grant 11 Schengen visas to Ghanaian individuals. No, I'm not buying it. This thing happens in movies. It is not real life. It is not possible. There is something amiss.
There's something amiss. It came from a legit source, and we need to fish it out. It is not possible that these letters and these signatures did not come from the office of the Ghana Paralympic Committee. It is not possible. As for that one, I am not buying it today. I'm not buying it tomorrow. They need to go inside. And you see, again, when Samsoni says he doesn't know the people, obviously, you know the people to oust them first of all, and then for them to also start giving interviews to try and clear themselves. So
whoever turn around and read paragraph 2 for me and what it says.
In a matter of utmost importance, the French embassy reached out to the MPC Ghana on 8 November 2022 concerning an issuance of a visa or concerning issuance of visas to your organization. The report states, I would like to inform you that this embassy issued visas for these 3 sportsmen, Efum Bernard Aka, Moza Francis, and Mensa Fredina, invited to a Paralympic competition in France in December 2021. The visas have been issued on condition that the 3 applicants report back to the embassy before 14 January 2022. This is a matter of great concern, and we are seeking your immediate attention.
So he's saying that when they apply for visas, the embassies always write to them and issue the visas on condition that the people come back. And they've cited an example from the French embassy. Now you go on to the MPC Ghana.
Even paragraph 3 again.
Yes.
A similar thing happens in 14th May 2024. We received verification note from the British High Commission Verification Unit regarding a visa request letter dated 4th May 2024 under the signature of Mr. Theodore M.K. Vivoto. This is the same person you banned, telling us that you have no association with him. Let's move on. Requesting for assistance in issuing visa for para-athletics for para-athletes to participate in the Waterside Half Marathon in Derry, UK, claimed as part of preparation towards the Paralympic Games stated for 28th August to 8th September 2024. So on both occasions, when the quote-unquote unscrupulous people went ahead of you to write to certain embassies, they wrote to you back.
Yes.
You can't tell me. And you've quoted it. You can't tell me that the Norwegian from the Norwegian. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that.
That's an interesting one. And by the way, the 3 people suspended, their names are at the top there. DK, read their names for me.
Mr. Theodore Mauli Vivoto,
yes.
Mr. NSEL EC, and then
the whole NSA Foundation. The very people the Ghana Paralympic Committee president says they have absolutely nothing to do with them.
It's either he didn't communicate well, or as Danny said, it doesn't matter. Maybe when he says they don't know them, it's simply because they've been suspended indefinitely, and he's trying to say it's in a local parlance. Somebody can simply put that. In Prix, they can say,
they are not members of the Paralympic Committee.
Yes.
Before the suspension came and they backdated the suspension. They did not. Actually, this was on the 18th, so it's fair. It's the same day.
Fair. It's the same day.
So the same day. So he can't speak the same day and say they are not members.
It doesn't, you know. So everything they are saying doesn't make sense. That's why I'm saying that by now, national security,
Ministry.
They need to be investigating this. You can't let it slide. Like Samsoni can't come and speak like he came to speak. I mean, he can't come and speak like he came to speak, and nothing goes on. Like somebody has to get to the roots of this. Somebody has to find out how those 11 men got themselves to Norway, by what means, who approved that letter, right? Is that and you see? Let's not leave the sports ministry out of this, because as he said, the Schengen states are calling everybody.
Yeah.
They will call the ministry and ask them, are you aware
that your national
Paralympic team is going to? So if there are people who have signed or forged documents, listen, let's not also downplay that. It is possible that there's a cartel.
No, absolutely.
That forged letter from the Paralympic, the original Paralympic, there's a cartel that forged the letter from the ministry.
Yes.
Let's get to the root of it. Yes, because I doubt, I think for sure that Norwegian embassy is going to call the ministry. They're going to call everybody to make sure that they are aware that a group of their national team are going to Norway, and so we need to get to the bottom of this because
you know how
it doesn't make
thorough.
sense.
You know how thorough the Schengen states are when you apply for a visa. I'll give you a good example. When I was going to Hungary for the World Athletics Championship, and I applied for a visa, they told me to go to multimedia because I said multimedia was sponsoring the trip. They told me to go to multimedia and bring a bank statement from multimedia that shows that they are a company that is in good standing.
Yes.
The whole multimedia.
Yes.
That's how. So just the letter alone is not enough.
Yeah. Doesn't have to prove that they've got a source, the funding to be able to.
Or that is a duly registered company. Even though it's operating, they still need proof that multimedia is a company in good standing before they issue the visa. It's unbelievably tough to get a Schengen visa if you're doing any kind of fraudulent thing. So many things have gone wrong in this. The sports ministry have released their own statement where they've said they're collaborating with a lot of the security agencies to ensure that the people who perpetrated this are brought to book. They also said that this scandal does not reflect the integrity and the honesty of the sports fraternity. But the evidence says otherwise.
It's piling up. Australia, there's that.
It is. So it's very disturbing. And and for me, the unfortunate thing about this is that it will make a lot of genuine sports people suffer as a consequence of this, because then there will be more scrutiny and less room for mistakes. And mistakes are part of applications. People make mistakes all the time. But because of this, the embassies will be less likely to forgive and overlook certain things. And people who have genuine opportunities to go and compete abroad would be denied visas because of the actions of a greedy select few. That's why Cicho's point is extremely valid. We should not be doing statements and radio and TV interviews right now. Heads should be rolling, sack letters should be flying, and suspensions should be flying left, right, and center, and people should be jailed because fraud is criminal. That's what it is. And that will be the last thing I will say on this matter. All right, I've got so many messages on this, and I'm going to read some of them. There's a message here that says, good evening, Mr. Fento and your team over there. Ghana is not a serious country. How did they manage to have access to the Paralympic president's signature? The president has to be investigated himself. His explanation is not convincing. This is from Jacob School inside EAG with that message. And I'm sure there will be a number of people that would agree with you that a lot of people have to be investigated, maybe even including Mr. Samson Ding himself. If his hands are clean, the investigation will prove him innocent. If he has something to do with it, then sure, and it's very disturbing. This one says, this visa matter there, the U.S. Embassy should be alert for 2026 World Cup. And that's what we are talking about, right? And it says, will they come apply as individual Ghanaian players? I am more kudus. Temperature in Kiwi. What kind of message is this? All right. Very interesting. I've got another one here that says, okay, this one doesn't say anything about the visa one. It just says, I'm watching a sports shoot with my wife, Faiza, Baba Haruna, and my mother-in-law, Madam Maria, Josco fan from Tamale. I love you guys.
3 points.
He's watching the show with his wife and his mother-in-law.
What a guy.
Obeji fans. Chayemana fans.
Charlie Sport Day.
He's sport day.
Hey, wifey.
What's the name?
Josco.
Josco fan.
Josco.
But Josco, I know him. He hard
guy.
Josco. There's more here. Friend, if nothing is done about this scandal, journalists in this country will find it difficult to go to Paris, speaking in Tama Community 7. Paris, which one? The one on Friday.
Those who qualify to be there will be there.
Those who will be there will be there.
Those who will be there will be there.
Those who will not be there will not be there.
Those who have been featured in the global Netflix documentary. They will be there. They've been invited to be.
If you are not inside, you won't go.
They are begging them to bring their passport to be stamped.
Oh, boss.
D from Boston says, you guys, I shall give you. After you showed us the way, no one was reprimanded. So what do you expect? Shambolic, and he does the face palming thing as well.
You know, how do you think
it's like nobody thinks that anything will be done regarding this matter.
Something has to be done.
Isatia, my senior brother, he says, Fenty, I'm watching live from Volta region, Ho to be precise. You guys are just doing a great job. And he says, highlight the scandal. I hope we did a great job for you, highlighting that particular scandal. But guys, let's move it on then, because there's a lot more to talk about. Yoro, Dogoyaro. What's his name?
Bola.
Lenny Yoro. Charlie, Bola signed an 18-year-old defender for 62 million. They played the boy against Rangers in a friendly game, and the boy was he made 2 passes, distributed 2 passes, and then they said they have discovered the next real defender. Bernard, how many? Show me how many passes he distributed. Okay. Hey, is that a no look from Casemiro or what? Okay, let's talk about what you saw from this guy. I've seen people say, okay, you know what? That's him.
Bola. See fast. Bola. Yoro. Bola. See composer. Bola.
Lenny Yoro. This is the one pass.
Pass here.
That's one pass. This is one pass.
Pogba, Gomba, don't forget.
That's one pass.
Bola!
We've seen this kind of defending so many times. What is so special about this? What is so special about it? What is it? This is a square pass. Anyone can give that square pass.
Oh, please, we've seen you before.
What is so special? He gave one very good diagonal pass. I agree, yes. But why are United fans so excited? This is the second one. I think he gave 2. This one was just in the air, to no man's land. The tallest player, the one who jumps highest, will get it. And he gave the ball away there. Now they fast forwarded the thing to make it look okay. You know what? Let me stop hating. On a more serious note, what does he bring? I mean, he's only 18. He's had 2 seasons in Ligue 1 under his belt. He was initially named part of the Olympic squad. I don't know what happened, and he was taken out. United, now he's training with them ahead of the start of the new season. Genuinely, DK, is he a starter in this United defense, or is he one that's coming to fight for his position?
Look, Varane has left. Varane, when fit, was a starting partner with Lisandro Martinez. Varane has left. Man United needed a replacement for Varane. Somebody who fits that modern-day ideal centre-back. Can play from the back, is comfortable with the ball, has space, and obviously can do the basics when it comes to defending. Very good tackler, interception, all those things. And Lenny Yoro, for an 18-year-old with 2 years experience already, he's played over 50 Ligue 1 games, was one of the best centre-backs in Ligue 1 in the past season. He's a really good signing. He has everything in his book. Now, look, this is somebody that Real Madrid wanted. Yeah. This is somebody that the top clubs have been scouting over the past year. When you look at or you read about him in terms of the top scouts, what the big boys have to say about him, he is obviously somebody that has caught the eye, and obviously that's somebody who is good enough to be playing at the highest level. You don't rack up over 50 Ligue 1 appearances as an 18-year-old if you are not good enough. And for no mean a team is Lille. Lille were champions of France just a couple of seasons ago. So we know how good of a team they are. And I think he comes in, I think to answer your question, he's a starter. I think United are signing him, hoping to pair him with Lisandro Martinez, obviously if the performances are up to the standard. And from what we've seen, at least in the first pre-season game, you don't even need to look at his pre-season. Look at what he's done in the French league. A top league. And in fact, there are actually studies that have shown that teams or players from the French league transition better to the Premier League because of the pace and physicality.
I think given just by just share.
You can pick
Yeah, you can just see that a lot of
players
French
who have come here from
But they're
French league.
actually
Yeah.
disaster.
Yeah.
Top
Yeah, Didier Drogba.
Eden Hazard.
Yeah, sure.
Look, so
Evra,
Gervinho.
Adebayo.
Look, plenty.
No, but that's just
Evra,
like,
Adebayo.
only last Wednesday I was having this conversation with somebody that a lot of French players, I mean, from the French league, when they come to the Premier League, we saw Samir Nasri coming to Arsenal, who was
Yohan
completely
Cabaye.
Yohan Cabaye, Diaby of Arsenal, brilliant.
Hey, how do you make Essien, Drogba? That's where you
But you
begin.
mentioned that already, so I'm just continuing.
I
I'm
didn't
not
mention
starting afresh.
Essien.
You mentioned Drogba.
Even Papi Cissé. Look, there are so many.
Dimitri Payet coming in.
There are so many.
Like
So,
Blaise.
Euro for me,
Jordan
he
Ayew.
fits it. He's a baller.
The issue here is why did Real Madrid value him at 32 million,
Yeah.
18-year-old, with a year left in his contract? United have jumped in and have paid 62 million. What are the dynamics there?
So Real Madrid don't determine his value. The selling club
Fair.
does that. So, but what
But
Real Madrid
also,
were
an
doing was-
18-year-old with a year left in his contract,
Yeah.
62 million seems a bit.
So what Real Madrid were doing was this, that, okay, so if you don't sell him in this summer, he's likely going for free next summer.
So Mbappe 2.0-ish.
So, yes, so we are not going to pay the full amount of money you are expecting. We'll half it, right? And so he had a personal agreement, the player had a personal agreement with Real Madrid that, all right, I agree to come to you, but deal with the club. Real Madrid goes to the club and they don't meet the valuation of the club. The club's valuation is what Man United paid. Listen, it's not a cheap deal, it's an expensive deal for an 18-year-old who has potential, who can be a very tough footballer, but nobody knows what it will turn out to be. It's a lot of risk and it's a lot of money paid for him, for a centre-back, right? I mean, he's not even had his debut for the French national. He's not international yet. Not had his debut for the French national team yet. But
No, even the Olympic team, he was supposed to go to the Olympics, right?
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
Nah, he's not going.
He's not going for the Olympic team.
Quick, make sure it's Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Silkins. They've got it. They've got crispy Gary in there, crunchy granite. They've got creamy milk and sugar, all for you. All you need is just to add water and you are good to go. No stress. Just enjoyment and kwa. It's available in various supermarkets and retail shops nationwide. Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Silkins make Silkins easy. All right, let's bring on our favorite Karim. Abdul Karim. Adamu Benning. Adamu Benning Abdul Karim is here. Karim, how you doing, my friend?
Some days are cold.
Some
but
days are cold.
Yes, some days are cold.
Okay.
But we have a lot of people to inspire, so we'll still carry on.
Some days are cold. So it means Karim has a cold.
What are you saying?
It means Karim has a cold, but I force him to work. He thinks I can't decode the message. Chicho, what did he say?
He said some days
Are cold,
which means he feels cold today. He should have been sleeping. But he will come and serve.
Yes.
He just wants his viewers, But do you know people tune into only what Karim?
Karim. But
So he
translation.
Translation.
He's not
He has a goal. You know, French has
but
forced
you
him.
have forced him. Yeah, but you have to force him.
Karim, what do you have for us today? Who Ghanaian player has gone where?
We are still keeping tabs on the Ghanaian players, making the moves across Europe and everywhere else in the world. And again, a lot of them have made moves within the week. And the first of them we'll be looking at is Joseph Wallacott. After one season at Hibernian in the Scottish Premiership, it didn't work out for him. He played just 9 games throughout the whole season.
At Hibernian.
Yes.
He's gone to...
He kept 4 clean sheets in those 9 games, and now he's gone back to the English League One. Maybe that is somewhere he's familiar with and can try, possibly looking at reclaiming his number 1.
Crawley Town.
Yes.
Are they crawling?
League One. English
In
League
League
One.
1.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
English
One.
League One.
The English League 1.
so the
That is
Premier League-
the
Third.
third division of English competition.
Yes.
So the Premier League, the Championship, League
League
1.
One.
And he signed
That's where our goalkeeper is.
Yes.
One of our goalkeepers.
And he plays at Crawley Town.
Yes, he signed a 2-year deal there,
Let's see where they
reuniting
finished
with
last season.
Okay.
a former coach, Scott Lindsay, who he knows very well. Maybe that is his route back to the number 1 spot in the Black Stars. Now,
Okay.
let's go back to a player we were talking about last week, Daniel K's favorite friend, Mr.
Ibrahim.
Atalanta.
So Ibrahim Suleiman, huh?
Yes, now the move is permanent. Last week it was rumors that he was about to join them, and now they've paid about 7.5 million euros to
It's a good.
Cagliari for him. And now we'll be seeing him play in the Champions League because Atalanta won the Europa. They'll be playing in this upcoming season's Champions League. And Ibrahim Sulemana, who has just made his debut for the Black Stars, will be seeing him with Atlanta in the Champions
That's a good move. Cagliari to Atalanta.
And now this one too, it's something we've known for a long time. And we've seen the unveiling so nice.
Wait,
it's now official that...
Wait. Crawley Town is in League 2.
League 2.
Yes.
It's... Oh, really? I think it's League 1.
Hey, what are you people doing? You want to confirm that Jojo Walakot is playing in the 4th tier of English competition? Karim doesn't like. Karim, stop. Sorry, forget them. Go on. Forget the two of them. They are agenda boys.
Okay, now Fatah is out. We've known that.
They are agenda boys.
If you journey Fatah...
They don't mind.
Karim doesn't like. They are agenda boys. Karim, go on.
What's the agenda, boys? I'm behind Karim.
Yes.
Karim has given you the facts. You have gone to dispute the facts. Now you have been proven wrong. You wasted Karim's time. Karim, go on.
Let's go on. Fatah is out. We've known that he'll be joining Leicester from Sporting on a permanent deal. But now, last Tuesday, just a day after the last post zone, it was official that he's joined Leicester from Sporting on a 5-year deal for 70 million euros, and we know that half of it will be going to Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
Who owns Steadfast?
Yes.
Point out that he's going to the club.
He's going to the club.
Yes. Not the individual.
Who owns the club?
The individual owns it, but it's a football club, so the money goes to Steadfast. It comes back into the Ghana economy. Let's go on.
Well, I don't know where you are heading. Majid Ashmiru, last season, he didn't really play so much after a lot of injuries. Now, he played only 12 games last season, and the club has shown a lot of faith in him. We've seen that last time he played for the Black Stars, he was one of the pillars at AFCON, and he got injured there. That injury really disrupted his season, and he played only 12 games for them in the Belgium Pro League, but they've shown faith in him and given him a 2-year contract extension. Now his deal will be running until 2027. The next one is Kweku Karikari. Just about 2-3 seasons ago, we saw him running down the Ghana Premier League patches with Dreams FC and Liberty Professionals, and now he helped Gen Disvo, that is the 2nd-tier team in Serbia, and he scored 16 goals to help them get promoted to the Serbian Super League. I don't know why. And now he's moved on to AC Horsens, that is, I think, in Denmark, and they are playing in the 2nd tier of the Danish league.
All right.
Before I go, I want to wish a happy birthday to my brother, Adamu Dramani. And
you have skipped one. You have skipped one transfer to wish your brother a happy birthday. What kind of life is this?
It's so important.
Is Bismarck Charles more important than Karim's brother? Bismarck Charles, is he more important than Karim's brother?
Okay, Bismarck Charles, he's a free agent. He's left CSK Sofia and now Skanderby in the Albanian league. It's Albania, yeah.
Skanderby.
Yes, 3-year deal for him.
All right. You can wish your brother a happy birthday now.
Happy birthday to my brother, Adamu Dramani. May Allah bless you and give you all your heart desires. And to my belated one, to my niece, Isifu Zainab. Happy birthday to you as well.
Karim is so challenging.
I host this show. I host this show. I have never wished anybody a happy birthday as a personal shout out on this show.
That's a problem.
Karim has come to interrupt the show.
Wait. Who stopped? Who stopped you from
reading?
What?
Whose fault? Whose fault is it that you've not wished anybody whatever?
Is that a serious question?
That's a serious question. How are you using that as an analogy?
Who stopped you?
Who stopped you?
Director, remove Karim from the screen. Remove him from the screen. Remove him from the screen.
Sweet Karim.
This boy. I've got messages here. Guys, let me read a couple of messages. This one says, good evening to you all. Please, I want more updates on Hala Madrid. And this is my favorite part, I am Eto, watching you live from Bogatanga. Eto wants updates on Real Madrid.
Former clubs.
You should just call Florentino Perez. He played for Real Madrid when he was...
He's not picking his course. Because he left there and later went to play for Barca, so they are not on good terms.
The Clement says that, please, can you give me Chelsea's first 11 this upcoming season. Boy.
Wow. They are headed to USA for the preseason, so we have an idea.
My name is Seedorf. Hey, today, Echo is watching our show. Seedorf.
Player. Seedorf.
Seedorf is watching our show. And Seedorf is in Wa.
Okay.
Eto is in Boga. And
watch Champions League semi-final.
Seedorf is in Wa. He just keep the good work. Okay, thank you, Seedorf.
And good clients.
We love you. This one says, my name is Flint, Chelsea Ba. I'm watching you live from Kumasi, Bremen West. I'm laughing like killer. Please show Daniel the video where he was praising Anthony and also doing his trademark 10 and shouting, Anthony! He said, something will happen to Kwabena Yaro as a big Pro Max.
Is he? It's not your money.
Please, Mr. Fento, let me worry Daniel Cranton small. You are now a married man, and for that reason, you are supposed to vacate from the show for some time. The day you wedded, you told her you always be there for her. Please, don't let her feel lonely. That's from Jacob School, inside Yeji. Once again, Daniel, do you know what he's talking about?
You know Mary. You know Mary. Why am I the only one supposed to vacate? As my wife told you that she's worried.
Be like, be now you realize you married.
Make it show. Make her show.
PK in Community 7 says, friend, this Yoro guy is better than your Disasi and Biadiashile combined.
Practice.
Don't worry. We have seen hybrid defenders before. Hybrid.
He never came home.
I saw the story last time. Where is he going? Down for Leo. He's about to cook.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Ghana will come good.
Hybrid.
So you Chelsea guys will go see this season. Okay, PK in Community 7. Tema PK, thank you. We have heard you, Pa. This one says, Oseya Insunyani says, why did Richie Ofori touch the ball? What a question. What a question at this time of the night. Man Utd, player where Madrid, they value him 30 million euros. United go buy him 62 million euros. I'm Henry from Kasua. All right, Henry, you've asked the question. Good evening. I'm City Boy from Malam, Kokroko. Please update me on Man City.
Savinho.
So we understand that Kevin De Bruyne has agreed a deal to move to Saudi, Al Ittihad.
Yes.
And there is also Ederson, who really wants to go. He's agreed a deal with a couple of clubs. They now have to agree a deal with City. So we also are hearing that if Kevin De Bruyne eventually seals his move, then Dani Olmo moves to Man City from Leipzig, who are very willing to sell Dani Olmo.
Of course, very willing to sell.
There is
I also saw a story earlier today that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is also
going to Marseille.
On his way to Marseille for 17 million pounds. Yunus from Wazongo says, good evening to you guys. All right, thank you. This one says, good evening, friend. I love your show. Greetings to all Chelsea fans in China. Castro Steve from China with that message. Guys, let's do something real quick. The Olympic Games will be starting in just 4 days. Lots of people don't know about this, but there are some very interesting footballers going to the Olympic Games. And we just want to show our viewers some 10 footballers to look out for at the upcoming Olympic Games. But now, let's roll. There you go. So Julian Alvarez will be there playing for Argentina. He's one of the overage players, even though he's only 24. By the way, Nicolas Otamendi is also in the Argentina squad. So France will definitely have great competition from Argentina. I think Argentina is definitely one of the favorites, if not the favorites. Maybe because France are hosting, but I think Argentina will be one of the big favorites. Alexander Lacazette, like we indicated, 33 years, one of France's overage players. He's the captain of a team.
Laka.
Another familiar name down there, Ashraf Hakimi.
Yeah.
Will be part of the Morocco team.
He was certainly captain, I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
Too bad Ghana didn't qualify. We know who would have been captain, don't we?
Capito. Capito in France.
Sicho, you are joking.
Capito.
Like you don't.
but what a dog.
What is that? What is that Dumbo statement? You doubt. 38. You doubt.
You doubt. You doubt me.
Capito, you doubt. You doubt.
If Ghana qualified,
But look at
the
this.
national team players would have been eligible.
Yeah.
To
Kudus could have gone as an overage player. He wasn't eligible by
He wasn't
age.
eligible by age.
Capito will go.
Bakapo for sure.
Quick.
Yeah, of
And
course,
he'll
of
score.
course. Listen,
We are Ghana.
Martha, this is an interesting story. Listen, she's the only player in the history of the Olympic Games to score in 5 consecutive Olympic Games. Yeah. She scored in Athens at 04. That was her first Olympic Games.
Beijing.
4 years later in Beijing, she scored again.
London.
4 years later in London, she scored again. 4 years later in Rio, she scored again. 4 years later in Tokyo, she scored again. And Brazil somehow have qualified for every single one of those Olympic Games. And this will be her last Olympic Games. If she scores, that will be 6 consecutive Olympic Games that Martha has scored for Brazil. She is the greatest women's footballer
Unfortunately,
of all time.
Her golden generation, they didn't win.
They didn't win, yeah.
A World Cup.
Christine, Omega.
Yeah.
I mean, that team was
Oh, that Christine girl is so good.
brilliant. Brilliant.
Aitana Bonmati.
Germany's
Omega.
Prince and
Yes.
Yeah. Aitana Bonmati of Spain, the best player in the world.
Well, yeah. Yes.
She will be playing. Remember, for the women, it's the national team. It's not an age competition. It's a national team. The Black Queens were 5 minutes away from qualifying. Then Barbara Banda did her thing. By the way, she's going there, obviously. Wendy Renard, we know her. Lyon, France captain, the lady.
Yeah.
She will be the PSG.
Solid defender.
Yeah, solid one.
better than Maguire.
Our very own Linda Caicedo, she only pops up whenever Colombia plays, but she plays for Real Madrid. And I don't see...
Madrid.
That's what I'm saying. But every time Colombia plays, she's always there. In 1 year, she played under 17 World Cup, under 20 World Cup, and Senior Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. She plays for Real Madrid. Barbara Banda, obviously. How's Barbara Banda still 24 years old?
I thought there was a mistake there. I think
You know, but are you sure? She's
24.
oh, wow.
no, I think she cheered for the system.
By the way, the most expensive women's footballer, the other Zambian,
Yeah.
is also going to, the
Yeah,
one who
she's
scored
gonna
in
go.
Accra.
Yeah.
What's her name? I forgot her name. They
Lovely Kalawus.
signed her from Real Madrid to the MLS. Femi Lopez will also be there playing for Spain. 21 years of age. We know her from...
How is Naby Keita still 29?
Navigator is still 29.
F-Pack Junior.
So Naby Keita will be representing Guinea as well.
No, but I don't see some of my boys in the team.
Who?
Olise is going to be there. Kubasi.
We said to watch, look out for. Players you didn't know were going to the Olympics.
Naby Keita.
Olise was going.
Naby Keita, we are not looking out for him. We are not looking out for Naby Keita. Even in the senior team,
We know Michael Olise is there. We know
No, Olise, Kubasi.
Kubasi is there.
Kubasi is there.
Yes.
Kalumwendo.
Kubasi is there.
And the star boy of the French team, Jean-Philippe Mateta. Crystal Palace is very
Yeah,
good.
he's also going there.
Yeah, he goes for
But
that.
that's our show tonight, brought to you by Kivo and Syntex. Thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Karim, and everybody else. We'll be back here next week.